Hello, mortals! I am the Booktube Goddess, the #1 drag queen booktuber on YouTube. And yay, someone's here, Lynette. I was wondering if anyone was going to show up because I forgot to set up the live stream. Usually I do it like at least several hours before, if not the day before. And I forgot to do it, of course. And so I was like doing it 10 minutes before. I did get a message from Britta on YouTube that she's out of the country or her country and so won't be joining us. But I thought that was so sweet that she mentioned something. So I guess it's just you and I, Lynette, just like old times. But if you're here, please, chime in and I'll say something to you. Oh, Stig is here. Yay. And Lori's here. Oh, Lori. Oh. I know that you had some moving issues or moving, the joy of moving. And I recently moved, I know, but I may be moving again. So we'll see how that goes. But it's not going to be a big move. If we move, what we did was I lived in Oakland and I sold our house in Oakland and we moved to Las Vegas where I'm renting. But now we're thinking about purchasing in Las Vegas. And a lot of things we have are still in boxes. So it's not going to be like having to repack everything again. And it's not moving to another state. It's just moving, a few blocks. But anyway, we'll see how that goes. Oh, yay, Cappuccino's here. Always a joy to see good old Cap. Well, that's okay. As long as you say hello. And okay, I'm trying to find the right brush. So here's where I'm at. If you remember 2 weeks ago, I had that weird makeup that went like way out here and they had a big white strip in the center. And I thought it was cool when I did it. But then I hated it when I was like editing my videos, like, oh, this is the worst look. And then last week I had that blue frosted look and I thought I had screwed it up. I thought that they weren't even, but it turned out to be one of my favorite looks. So I'm going to try to recreate that, but with a different color. So I was thinking I was going to do all pink. Oh, this will be fine. I was thinking I was going to do all pink because I don't think I've done that in a long time, but with the same technique and shape as last week. You moved in June. That's when I moved. I moved in June. 0 out of 10 would recommend. Happy with your new place. Yeah, I know. Yeah, but purchasing is kind of different because, it's your own place. And again, it's just a short move and we really haven't unpacked most of our things from our last move. Twice, wow. I've only moved twice in 45 years. Wow. Yep. Oh, the Shelve It or Shove It. See, that was the makeup I didn't like because I thought they had like too much white in this area. I think if I had like shaded it in more, I might have liked it more. I mean, use more black in the core. Anyway, getting in the weeds. I'm going to try to do, I wish I had a skinnier brush. I'm going to try to do the same thing I did last week, which was the blue look, only in pink. So I'm using the Flash palette to lay down some pink. Did an oops already. And this is really the wrong brush. Oh well. Okay, I really feel like I've screwed it up, but you never know till the end. So how's everyone's reading going? I am participating in the Reindeer Readathon, which basically just means, I mean, the prompts are so vague, not vague, but so forgiving um, insofar that you can basically put any book in any prompt if you just are creative. so, so I have my reading picked out, which is 4 books. Geez Louise, I am screwing up. Which is 4 books, one which will be an audiobook. And so I started Gilded by Marissa Meyer. And I really like her young adult books. I think she only does young adult. But I really like the Lunar Chronicles and Renegades. So this is traditional fantasy and not my favorite book I've read of hers. I mean, it's okay. It's a retelling, a fairy tale retelling of Rumpelstiltskin. And it's a first in a series, so I assume I wonder if it's going to be following Lunar, the Lunar Chronicles, because it was 4 books as a quartet, and each one was based on a different fairy tale. And so each book had a different main character. So it went like Cinderella, Red Riding Hood, Sleeping Beauty, Snow White. And I'm wondering if this is just going to be the fantasy version where there's going to be like a bunch more characters in subsequent series based on different fairy tales. Be kind of interesting if she does that, but I think my issue with this one is the main character. Why did I do that? Is the main character is a liar. She was like cursed or blessed by uh, the goddess storytelling to always make things up. Or I'm not explaining it right, but it's just doesn't make her, in my opinion, a terribly likable person. Okay, well, something. Oh, we have Kayla. Yay. Place them in your cupboard and forget about them. What are we talking about? I'm dying to know your opinion on the Wheel of Time. Oh, yeah, I am going to do a. I mean, the videos are getting views for me. Um, so I decided to continue to do the Wheel of Time uh, reviews by episode, and I've just watched episode 5, and this one, not my favorite episode. I don't understand why they're focusing and changing the story in certain ways that they're doing it. I don't know, Stig, have you read the books? Oh, everyone's talking about Jade City. Currently reading Golden Compass. Now, see, that's a middle grade book that I think is easy to enjoy for an adult. I really do like the Golden Compass. Because it's funny, when I lived in San Francisco, there was a bookstore near the Castro. They want to call it Books Inc. or Books, etc. Anyway, excuse me. I guess they didn't really have much of a children's section. It's like the gay neighborhood of San Francisco. So they would shelve middle grade books in with the adult books. And I picked up some, I think that's how I found Garth Nix, because the Sabriel series was shelved with adults, and usually it's not. And I didn't even realize it was not an adult book. And same thing with Golden Compass. It was shelved with the adult books, and I was like, oh, this cover looks neat. So I picked it up and read it without realizing it's actually middle grade. Ooh, 20,000 under the. It's been about 50 years since I last read it. Same. I don't know, Real Valkyrie. I have a feeling Lynette rereads a lot of like H.G. Wells. I am enjoying watching Wheel of Time with my son. We have not watched a show together since Game of Thrones. Oh, that's cool. I am almost finished. Oh, Ace of Spades. Excellent discussion of, yeah, I've heard about the institutional racism or systemic racism and queer rep. Yeah, I like the cover that showed like the card. I think I saw it in Shelve It or Shove It. I just don't think I was into. It's a thriller, right? Although I'm picking up a thriller for the Reindeer Readathon. 2.5 episodes in. So far, it's sort of boring. Yeah. The acting, especially from the 4 chosen ones, there's actually 5 chosen ones, are kind of rough at times, and the dialogue veers. Yeah. And that's what I was saying in my first review of that series, is that it's trying to be so serious. There's no variation in tone or mood. It's always like this serious, epic fantasy series rather than like having a little bit of lightness or comedy. There's so many things they could have done to bring in a little comedy relief that wouldn't have us holding our breath the entire series. Yeah, I like Rosamund Pike. I can't think of anything else she's been in though. You reread War of the Worlds every 5 years or so. Oh, interesting. Mine is probably. Well, I did read some science fiction that was specifically for middle grade or young kids. I'm thinking of something called The Mushroom People. I mean, they may have been chapter books, but the first science fiction I remember reading, it's probably either Edgar Rice Burroughs or Robert Heinlein. Yeah. Because I think I read H.G. Wells a little later. Oh, Axiom's End. Yeah, I was wondering about that one too. Good balance of philosophical and sociological. And I love aliens, stories about aliens. It did pick up a lot for me, and in episode 4 was so far my favorite episode. Oh, Dave the Triffids, love that. Don't know. We've talked about Little Big Man. I've only seen the movie, which I think is very good. Tried reading The First Wheel of Time a couple years ago, but it's just so thick, and the farm boy entry point in the story was kind of dated when I started. Oh, I like that. That's what I liked. I like big, thick books, and I like not Chosen One. What's the Hero's Quest, where he usually starts, Arthur being stuck in the farm, not knowing his heritage type thing. I like I like that trope. Hearing Trump. Oh, I haven't read that one. Oh, see, I haven't seen those. Oh, did I see Gone Girl? I think saw Gone Girl. Oh, she narrates audiobooks. Interesting. Yeah, that might have been it, Lori. But I think it was a series. I think there's more than one Mushroom Person book. Oh, okay. Yeah, poor Jane. She's so forgettable in adaptations. Yeah. Pink. I need a dark pink. Oh. Okay, I'm going to use this dark pink. I think it's dark pink. Oh, really? Rosamund Pike is narrating Wheel of Time? Yeah. Yep, agree. I know some people are really super fans of the Wheel of Time series. I should probably watch more reviews. I think I just seen a couple. There's a bunch of Wheel of Time review videos by people who have not read the series. Those are kind of interesting takes. But then there's like Daniel Green, and I don't know if I trust Daniel Green's opinion on this. Not because I think he would misrepresent anything, but I think I'm not sure how objective he can be with this Wheel of Time because he's getting like really involved with like I saw he like interviewed an actor. Just makes you wonder what his opinions would be if he was a smaller booktuber that didn't have the connections. Or maybe I'm being too harsh. Just something that crossed my mind. Hearing Trumpet is the only novel written by the surrealist artist Leonora Carrington. The main character is a 92-year-old lady who is put into a very strange old lady. Oh, that sounds kind of cool. But a bad appetite. Oh, okay. We rarely get elderly main characters. Very true. I agree. Totally agree with you, Stig. Cinematography is stunning in that series. It was really great in episode 5. That was like my favorite part. You don't trust Daniel Green's opinion on anything. The only reaction videos I am watching are the Booktube Goddess and a hat full of reactions. I'll check out a hat full of reactions. Dan is definitely a super fan of Wheel of Time books. Hard to be objective of adaptations when you're that invested. Yeah. And also, what I'm saying is that because he's such a big YouTube channel, I think he's gotten a lot of attention from the marketing department of Wheel of Time series. Okay, I wanted a lighter pink, and this is like more of a hot pink. Do I even have a light pink? Hold on. No, I just have hot pinks. Okay, this will do. Need a blending brush. Okay. Not seeing any pink at all. It's the same color. Oh, and I just saw Netflix released a new season of Lost in Space. Which is kind of a different adaptation of that classic science fiction series. I do like that Dr. Smith is played by a woman. And not just any woman, but Parker Posey, who's actually a really good actor or funny actress. She was in a lot of those Christopher Guest parody movies, but she was also, what was that movie? House of Yes? Excellent movie. can't tell if this is blending. It's not showing up too blended on camera, that's for sure. Okay. Finishing off these books I started but put aside. Books that I did are DNF'd. Okay. It's not for everyone, that's for sure. Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, it's such a good series, and there are 7 books, but it's not 7 seasons, so I don't know why they're not going to continue to the end. But I do like the Amazon series. Yeah. And here's the thing. I started reading Wheel of Time when it was, I think, the second, maybe the third book was out. No, I think the second book. So I could read the 2 first books back to back. And then, I mean, there's 14 books. Then I would read them just as they were published. And that's a whole different experience than, because it took, 15, 20 years to read the whole series. And it's a lot different than just seeing that 4 million words of text staring at you right at once. So Game of Thrones isn't as bad because I think they were contemporaneous, Wheel of Time, Game of Thrones. But that one, the author is just so slow. Releasing books. But yeah. Personally, I think the Wheel of Time should have just been like, I think he could have done it in 6 books. But okay, so if I want to do the bottom, now I'm kind of forgetting what I did last week. I wanted to do what I did last week, but where's the... I think I just... And it's like finding a series on Amazon or Hulu or whatever, Netflix. If it's like 1 season, it's like, oh yeah, I can get into this. But then you find out there's like 10 seasons, and you're like, am I gonna have time? I think that happened to me with what's that show about Smallville? It's about Superman when he was growing up. So I guess it was kind of a young adult show. And I never watched it when it came out. I decided to give it a try when it was on Hulu or something. And I was like, oh, I don't even know how far. I didn't get even through the whole first season, but I was like thinking, oh, this is kind of cool. This is kind of cool. But then I realized that there are tons of seasons, and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to get through this. I mean, what I saw was good, but not that good that I wanted to spend the rest of my life watching Smallville. But the only series that has really beaten me is Malazan. The is it Stephen Erickson wrote it? Because when I first started reading it, I was very excited about it. And then I think the first three books I was really into this world and the writer. Obviously, he has a lot of inspiration from role-playing games. Because I believe Malazan was based on a role-playing game that he was designing. But that series got so dense, I just couldn't continue with it. And I like big epic fantasies. You know, I like Lord of the Rings, Wheel of Time, um, Realm of the Elderlings. You know, I like long, big series, but that one, I just couldn't get past the writing, which is a shame because I thought it started so good. Okay. Oh, I missed a lot of your TV producers skip some of the weaknesses of the books, but then add their own in. Yeah. Doctor Who finishes tomorrow, so I will look at the books that made us, which is about Australian books. I need to get back into Doctor Who. I just didn't like the writing of the female doctor. I didn't mind her. Robert Jordan walks, though George R. R. Martin could run. I'm not sure if that's true. Someone look up the publication dates. I, in my mind, I thought that they were published around the same time. It's supposed to be your year of appreciating short stories. 2022. Oh, fit to be read. Thank you for saying hi. Probably gone by now, but glad you popped in. Oh yeah, I like the Witcher Netflix series. Isn't another studio doing a Wheel of? I don't know. I hope so. I hope so, Kayla. Suggest the best book to start with Greg Egan. Yes, happy birthday. Yeah, that's Fit's the one to ask about. Egan. Okie dokie, reading journals. What am I doing for this look? I forgot how I created last week's look. I think I probably just cut the crease and then put in the black. So let's do that. Here's a question. Oh, last week when I did the blue silver thing, I thought the silver cut crease looked too gray. So for some videos, you'll notice or may not notice, but I packed in a bunch of glitter just to make it more silvery for like the reindeer readathon video. But what goes good with pink? Because I don't want to do gray or silver. Does orange go complement pink? Let's see. Trying to imagine like the color wheel or color mixing theories. Because orange is basically yellow and red. And pink is red. It's not red and blue. Pink is just a washed out red, right? It's just red and white. So pink and orange would just be orange, another shade of orange. Um, I'm using a spreadsheet. Might put the first line of each book I read in. Oh, that's a good idea. Maybe the last line. Yeah, I'm terrible at tracking things. I got one that a Clockwork Reader published, and it has a lot of her illustrations. Ooh, love illustrations. Yes, yes, indeed. I would watch the Netflix Last Airbender adaptation. Yeah, sort of salmon. Yeah, it's just another shade of orange because you're just adding pink and white into orange or more red and I don't know, probably peach. Yeah, salmon or peach, one of those colors. But I mean, I wasn't. I'm a little old to watch to be a super fan of The Last Airbender, but I do remember watching or catching some of it on Nickelodeon or wherever it was playing. So I was very interested, and I really liked the storylines on reincarnation. So I was actually very into watching the M. Night, whatever his name is, Shyamalastans. But boy, was that a bad movie. And I went to the theater and saw it too. What a disappointment. But there are enough fans of The Last Airbender that I think at least people at Netflix realize that it could be a very popular property if done right. Oh, and I was, and also the M. Night movie, the lack of Asian representation, even though I don't think it was a American show, right? Last Airbender, the cartoon, original cartoon. But even so, it felt like there should have been a little bit more Asian representation in a show that was kind of set in a albeit fictional Asian world. Okay. Oops. Oops. Oh, here we go. Eye of the World was published in 1990, Game of Thrones in 96. Okay. So Jordan was first. But I know but because of the publication date, because Eye of the World may have started in 1990, but if you go through with Brandon Sanderson's ending, I think it was 2005 that it finished publishing. Because I do remember picking up books in both series as they were published in the same year, in the I guess late 2000 or late 90s. Oh, it was so good. Last Airbender was so good. So the last, really, the movie version, do you like that? My childhood anime was Star Blazers. That sounds familiar. Star Blazers. Let's see, I can't remember a favorite cartoon. I mean, I was definitely like watching Flintstones and Yogi Bear and oh, in the mornings just before school, I would always watch the reruns of Kimba the White Lion. Which I believe was the basis for the Lion King, right? Kimba the White Lion. Kimba the White Lion he's the one. Oh, and it was Kimba and Speed Racer. They were always like whatever TV channel I was at, those two would always come together. And that was before school. I was such a TV addict as a kid. And after school, it was they're not animated, but the what's his name? Sid and Marty Krofft. They had a bunch of these live action fantasy shows. Puff, not Puff, Puff and Stuff. That's it. Puff and Stuff, Hatsville, and the Banana Splits. But you kids now have no idea how rare it was to watch new cartoons, because really the only day they would show them was on Saturday mornings, which was a huge deal. I mean, if you wanted to watch the new animated stuff, it was Saturday morning. You had to watch your Saturday morning cartoons. And there's nothing streaming, now you can just, whenever you want, whenever the mood hits you, you can watch your cartoons or whatever anytime you want. But if you didn't watch your show when it was broadcast, you weren't going to see it. Except you may hope you might get it as a rerun, second shot as a rerun. But boy, Saturday mornings were exciting if you were a TV addict, cartoon kid. I mean, they would even have, when the new season started, they would have like the Thursday night before or whatever, they would have a entire program showcasing what was going to come out on Saturday morning. just setting this white with powder. Do I have a relatively clean, fluffy brush? Okay, I need to make a decision on what color to lay down. Yeah, maybe. Sanderson is so prolific. Yes. Cap, you're reading my mind. Oh, Rocky and Bullwinkle. Yeah. Rocky and Bullwinkle. And who's the guy, the dog, Mr. Peabody, that traveled back in time, had a time machine? George R. R. Martin isn't getting younger. Sometimes I thought that Robert Jordan just wasn't wrapping up his series just because since he became ill, maybe he thought, well, as long as I need to finish the series, I'll keep going and live. But of course that didn't. Boris and Natasha, I can't speak with a Russian accent. Oh, was it? I always thought The Lion King was Kimba. DuckTales. Again, I was a little too old for DuckTales. Oh, The Lion King ripped off Kimba. Oh, interesting. Yeah, because the stories were so similar. Yeah, everything's based on Shakespeare. Poindexter and Sherman. The Poindexter? Yes, when those preview shows came out. Preview special Saturday morning kids program was huge. Yeah, people now just don't get it. It was like an event for the new lineup of Saturday morning cartoons. It was a big event. Oh, pink and blue. Now that's a contrasting color. Okay, let's try it. We'll do blue. Definitely want to start dark. Okay, let's just see what happens. This doesn't turn out, I'm coming at you, Stig. Just kidding. It would be my fault. Okay, I'm going to do... I don't know. I don't know. Okay. And let's go with the light blue. It's kind of a baby blue. These blues don't match at all. This looks a little aqua or turquoisey. Okay, I have this other blue that may be a better fit. There's no mirror on that. How dare they make a palette without a mirror? Oh yeah. Much better. I'm going to be putting a lot of black down, so. Just want to get the color in the crease. Okay, let's go back to... Okay, so can you see? I'm just going to go in with this white. Yeah. Okie doke. So I think I want to put down some blue glitter just because, and then we'll add the black. And I'm just going to put the glitter not across the whole lid, just through there. Okay. Now I feel like I need white glitter to help blend the. Do I have it? Yeah. Okay, I'm just going crazy with glitter today. But can you ever have enough glitter? That's what I want to know. Probably. I don't know if you watch Drag Race, but there's this drag queen called Crystal Method. That person puts on tons of glitter. I mean, she looks like a crafts project. I was kind of hoping the two glitters would kind of blend together, but they're not. Well, hold on. If I drag the silver into the blue, oh. Just had a clump of big glitter glue on my eyelashes. Okay. So I guess this kind of worked. Okay. Got to move on. Got to move on. There's glitter everywhere. I thought it, oh boy, yeah. I forgot about that. TVs weren't, our TV channels didn't show things 24 hours. Glitter makes everything better. Ooh, God Save the Queen. Yeah, I think we would get once in a while the national anthem. Ooh, color. Oh, great. As long as it looks good on camera, that's all that matters. Yeah, we were actually late getting color TV, which is weird because my uncle Roger owned a TV store, which eventually my parents bought a color TV for him. But that was, when did we get color TV? It might have been like 1970, which was a little late for color TV. But I remember I was so excited because they gave me the black and white TV. So I had my very own TV, even though it was black and white. But back in the day, the TVs were so expensive that it was rare a child would have their own TV. I feel like there's something, some hair or something, probably cat hair. Okay, I need to move on to eyeliner. I'll be here forever. Okay. Okay, I'm laying on a lot more black than I thought I was going to lay on, but that's fine. I just need some gel liner. Isn't it fascinating watching paint dry? Now, if you remember or have seen last week's look, this is supposed to be the same thing, only in pink. And I have a feeling kind of missed the mark on it, but we'll see. God, I need more gel liner. Okay, and I'm going to be going in with black shadow after this too. So. Okay, so almost done. Almost done. Oh, big old cabinet style TV. Man, TVs used to be so heavy. That's one thing that's changed a lot. Now you can get these huge screens that are like one person can lift it. I remember 2 people having to move a TV before. And only one show could be watched. Oh, the negotiations. Chitchat, yeah. Since you're such an avid reader, have you ever felt the need to tell stories of your own? Absolutely. I mean, for me, I talk about once in a while on these live streams that I do try to, I do write, um, and I've been writing a couple of middle grade novels that are unpublished. I was trying to get an agent. And if you ever see me post these weird pitches on Twitter, those are during these pitch sessions to agents where you pitch your story idea, and agents called Pit Mad, and agents that like it, like your posts, then you can submit to them. It's never worked out for me. But before that, I designed a computer game called Listernia Age of Ascension, and I would write stories for that. I would like have at least one short story a year that I would put out, and I wrote all the histories and everything. But I've always, well, yeah, I've always been sort of a writer of sorts, even though I can't call myself a professional writer by any stretch. But yeah, that's for me. Is there? I mean, I think so too. I like watching makeup tutorials. But unlike makeup tutorials, this is live. So you can't cut the boring parts like the drawing. However, if you're into drag makeup, there's a woman who does drag called Elena Glam, Elaina, and I think she's Ukrainian or something. But she'll do live streams where she'll put, and she's a much, much better makeup artist than I am. And, but she'll do these live streams that last like 3 hours or whatever, where she does the full drag makeup. Yeah, that's true. That's another thing that people don't realize, because I remember, I mean, I think I would have been more of a fantasy fan when I was younger, but there just wasn't any fantasy out. There was very little fantasy. It was all science fiction, and that's where I really got into, Asimov, Clarke, Heinlein, Bradbury, McCaffrey, Ursula K. Le Guin. But yeah, if you're talking about the 60s, 70s, there really wasn't, the focus was all on science fiction, a little bit on fantasy. And it wasn't until Terry Brooks released The Sword of Shannara in the late 70s that, because since then it was just mostly J.R.R. Tolkien. Everyone talked about Tolkien. But I remember, at least in Walden Books, where I went book shopping, they had like banners. It was like a new fantasy, a new fantasy. There's banners, posters, Sword of Shannara. There was like a lot of art books, like the art of Sword of Shannara. Because I know I got one. But after Sword of Shannara, then you started seeing a lot more fantasy come out, probably through the 80s. But now you're right. And it could just be the feeling of being online and can see like every book professionally or indie published at your fingertips. But before, it was just like you go to the bookstore and you just look at the 2 shelves of science fiction and fantasy. They were never separated. It was just all one block. And if you want horror, horror had its own section. But But yeah, you would see the same titles over and over and the same authors over and over. It did feel like there was that much of a selection. It just feels like there's something scratching my face. I don't know where that's coming from. Okay, so I need black powder. Yeah, it's changed the whole landscape. Now it seems like there's endless supplies of books of new titles I haven't read, new authors. Yeah, I did Pit Mad. Like I said, never, never successfully. I'm knee deep in AuthorTube community, so I also hope to pull. Yay! Self-published, not trad. I have a friend who's currently querying with the King Arthur necromancy. Is that Nick? Oh, I forgot his last name. There's a Nicholas Perez. There's a guy on I follow on Twitter, and we'll communicated online a bit. That sounds like one of his books. But hats off to people that traditionally not indie pub, because you have to not only, well, you should hire your own editor, but then you have to like do the artwork, you have to do the marketing, you have to do the newsletter, do a website. I mean, there are just so many moving parts to be successful as an indie publisher. And the guys I like watching that talk about it is the six-figure authors. For traditionally published, my two favorite author tubers are Alexa Dunn and Michelle Schusterman. Don't tell Alexa, but I actually like Michelle's channel better. But she seems to have a lot of insight into the industry and the craft, and she's been around for a while, so she's had a lot of things published. Okay, come on, I just need a small, can I use this brush? Okay, let's try this. Unfortunately, since I've been writing middle grade, it's harder to get success as a indie middle grade author, simply because the way the audience of middle grade readers buy books is usually through a bookstore, and usually they're not the ones buying it, but the parents are, or teacher, or librarian. But the most successful indie authors are genre writers, which I assume you are. But we're talking about like mystery, science fiction, fantasy, romance is huge. You can be a very successful indie romance writer. And horror, I guess. Okay. Sorry, I'm just focusing on doing this black. Okay, so that's going to be the eye look. Oh, I didn't do the bottoms of the eyes. Yikes. Hold on, I can do this quick. Famous last words. Famous last words. Okay. Really need to. Same thing for the black. The other thing I do is I always clean my brushes after I do these. Sometimes I end up with so many brushes. Okay. And finally, where's my white? Okay, so what do you think? The eyes. Okay, once again, we're getting to that point where I'm starting to lose steam. Mm. Okay, Stig, I write science fiction. Working on space opera with a little science and a lot of fiction. A queer Prince Caspian. Talking like Voyage of the Dawn Treader, Prince Caspian. He reached through the ads on the back of books to find more books. Oh yeah, yeah, they used to have that. Fit is back, yay! Indian trad pubs supposed to have their own. Yep, that's true. Benefits and pitfalls. Honestly, I think it's harder being indie published. Although it's hard to get started in harder to get started in traditionally published because you have to find an agent, you have to go through the querying process, yada yada yada. But to get your books out, it's harder to be indie published or for your books to find readers. Oh yeah, is that the one you did your video on? It's a retelling, so it features some of the themes and characters of Caspian. The evil uncle is now an aunt. Prince Caspian and Peter is in a romantic relationship. Ooh! Feature which necromancy and elves. Love that. Yeah, queer space opera. I reviewed them. See, I have a hard time finding a good indie author. Oh, I found this one that I hated so much. I'll talk about it in a second. Let me catch up here. What? I thought Sherlock Holmes has to be in the public domain because you can find him on Arthur Conan Doyle's on Project Gutenberg. Oh, his estate. Well, I mean, it's a good question. It's inspired by, but doesn't have any of the intellectual property. Could just change Caspian's name. It sounds like you're changing everything else of the story, that they wouldn't say anything. Yeah, that's a good question, though. I didn't realize that they were strict. But there's a middle grade book that became a Netflix series called Enola Holmes, which is charming. It's about Sherlock Holmes's younger sister. It's really a fun story. But yeah, I wonder if they had to get permission from the estate to write it. Yeah, if you're completely changing things, it's just an inspiration. You don't have to worry about it. It's just if you use the words Narnia and Caspian and Dawn Treader. Yeah, exactly. He didn't invent evil royal families. Oh, thank you. Oh, refraction. Okay. Okay, so you just want to. Fantastic. I like how I say your mortal job, Stig. Yeah, I'm losing steam. And Peter's currently named Benjamin. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. I was going to talk about something. I forgot. I'm going to do lips. Oops. the pen. So I guess we can do pink lips. Do we like matchy? Oops. Do we like matchy? I don't know. Yeah, I'm just going to do brown outline and then the pink lips. Last few Sherlock Holmes are not. The producers of Enola Holmes was sued. Oh, man. Interesting. I was going to, actually the only thing I'm planning on doing is a Critical Role review and a Wheel of Time review. And I wanted to do something else, and I haven't thought of it because I didn't script anything out. Maybe I'll do like a book haul. By book haul, I mean going to my garage and pulling out a box of books I haven't seen in a long time. I have a couple of videos that I've done already that are just waiting for the right time to release. One is a book review of The Inheritance of Orchidea Divinia. I have another book haul video. And, oh, I did a tag video. Actually, I tagged some of you people. I mentioned how much I hate doing lips today. Okay, I think I'm just gonna not stress out about it. does it look red on screen? I mean, this is pink. Here's my little lip brush. No, it's not it. Oh well, it's gonna go with it. Oh, eyelashes. Oh, I got new eyelashes because I didn't like the eyelashes I had. They're actually cheap old lashes, and I don't think they were big enough. So I got the larger lashes on Amazon. And these are very cheap, by the way. I just want to see. So cheap, in fact. The glue. Okay. I want to see if I need to cut them down. Yeah. Be good. It's a little warm in this room. And yes, I know I live in Vegas, but during the winter time, it's actually cools down quite a bit. And by that, I mean can get into like the 50s or 60s. There's really just 3 months out of the year, June, July, August, where it gets crazy hot, like over 100. But it's a dry heat. I'm just going to be wiping some of the excess on my eyelid. Like that. Technique from Wigs by Vanity. And just have to wait for this glue to dry. Oh, it looks fuchsia, the lipstick. Well, I put some white on. No. It's fine. If I don't like it later, I'll just throw on glitter. Hopefully most people use it as a reference. Oh yeah, it was is there a, do you have it like listed, all the books listed somewhere, Fit? Because I would like to not make a fool of myself again and say things like, oh, did you have Cheap Wolf on that list? Because I would like to look at it, you know, in writing, the whole list. More from the list than I expected, and included your favorites. I have mixed feeling about the love I gave Egan, because I like his work so much, but also know that not everyone will find him. I can't remember reading something by him, because I remember you're saying that in your wrap-up video, and I can't. I mean, the name Dave Egan is so familiar, but I can't remember anything I've read by him. Oh, I need to go through and count. I'm sure I've read at least 50 books. I remember when Stevenson first came out with Snow Crash, he was being compared heavily to William Gibson. In fact, someone called him the poor man's William Gibson. I feel bad that I have extra copy of the Diakonauts, but not. Yeah, it's hard to ship to Australia or New Zealand or Tasmania. Sorry. I wonder if I could do 150 fan. I mean, here's my problem with I've forgotten so many of the books I've read. Glitter on top of glitter. Why'd I think you'd say that, Stig? Okay. The funny thing about a fantasy list, not funny, but is so much fantasy is written as series. Oh man, did I wait too long? Stick. Okay. I think they're sticking. You know what? I didn't actually prepare a wig. Usually I pull one out. So let me just grab Old Faithful behind me. Because I was running late this morning. I thought I got an early enough start, but then I was just slow putting on these eyebrows. This is Old Faithful, my very first wig I got for this channel. It's really still one of my favorite wigs. Oh, what am I doing? Okay, let me quickly. We got some white. To highlight, and what is little, oops, let me use this brush of highlighter. I still don't know if I like highlighter. Just I see all the drag queens using it, so I do it. But sometimes I feel it makes your face look greasy. Again, that could just be me. Well, that is just me. Okay, now we're done. Let me put on some earrings. Actually, I'll put on these. I can't decide. These are just colorful clip-ons, but it goes with the necklace, I think, a little bit. Grab some gloves. So what do you think of the blue and pink? This is all Stig's idea. Yeah, I think it looks, I like the contrast. I think orange would probably have been a bad decision because, at least in the crease, it's just too similar to the red. I mean, the pink. By the way, this is supposed to be a pink look. Have to finish it off. I just have to finish it off. Okay. Here we are. Okay. Bluetooth hearing aids before Christmas. Oh. To listen to certain female narrators. Interesting. I listened to the audio version of Legend Born, and which the main character is a North or South Carolina, so he has a Southern accent, and is it's a young Black woman, and that's who the narrator was. But she spoke so slowly that I actually had to speed it up because it was hard to listen to. Yeah, good old faithful. Oh yeah, I want to see it. I have to subscribe to Paramount Plus, I believe, and I may just go ahead and do that because I've been meaning to my TV buying thing. I've been meaning to not to cancel my HBO subscription because I thought there'd be more shows I wanted to watch on it. And what I do is I cancel things I have before I get something else. So I canceled Disney and Hulu to get, and Paramount Plus to get HBO because they were having like a sale on it. And I do like this show Succession, which is sort of this Shakespearean. Well, anyway, it's a good show, set in the modern times, but business tycoon is getting up there, and which of his kids are going to succeed him. But it's very kind of reminds me of Mad Men, at least in terms of the tone and the storytelling. So what was I talking about? Oh, so anyway, I want to see Star Trek, the Discovery series, but I've been sort of waiting until the entire series is out before switching over because I want to see Picard. But I just may go ahead and get it because I do want to see Queen of the Universe. That was a long tangent just to say that. Yes, yes. Good luck on the Bluetooth hearing aids. Oh, great. Thank you. Oh, yeah, yeah. The Aes Sedai, one of each color. Which Aes Sedai would you be? Yeah, the blue and pink, I think, has turned out. Thank you. Oh, Kelly. Well, you came for the finished look. Oh, you've seen it already. Okay, I'm going to get it. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it. Okay, guys, it has been, wait a minute, has it been 2 hours? No. Oh, man. Okay, this went on a lot longer than I thought. I got to go. I got to film my videos. And thank you once again for coming and putting up with me, putting on makeup. And I hope you did find it meditative. And I hope to see you again next week. But until we meet again, may all the books you read be blessed.